Video game difficulty has undergone dramatic shifts since the industry's inception, shaped by technological advancements, changing player expectations, and evolving design philosophies. What once began as an industry defined by brutal arcade challenges has now grown into a vast landscape of varied difficulty options, accessibility features, and intricate balance between challenge and engagement. To understand how difficulty has evolved in gaming, we must explore its origins, its transformation over the decades, and how modern game design approaches the concept of challenge today. Difficulty in games is not just about how hard or easy a game is to complete, it's about engagement, pacing, and player satisfaction. The way difficulty is implemented can influence a player's emotional response, immersion, and even the overall cultural reception of a game. Games that are too difficult risk alienating players, while those that are too easy may feel unsatisfying or unmemorable. Striking the perfect balance has always been a challenge for developers, and as gaming technology and player demographics have evolved, so too have the philosophy behind difficulty. So let's take an in-depth look at the evolution of video game difficulty, starting from the punishing coin-operated arcade machines to the complex, player-driven difficulty choices in modern gaming. We'll look at how the industry shifted from mandatory high difficulty to more player-friendly mechanics, and how different genres have adapted to changing expectations over time. The earliest days of gaming were defined by arcade machines, where difficulty was not just a design choice, it was a financial strategy. These machines were designed to be challenging enough that players would have to keep inserting quarters to continue, maximizing revenue for arcade owners. Games like Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, and Ghosts and Goblins were infamous for their steep learning curves and relentless difficulty spikes. In these games, there was little room for error. Most had limited lives, no continues, and an increasingly fast or erratic enemy behaviors designed to overwhelm players. This high difficulty encouraged memorization, pattern recognition, and lightning-fast reflexes. While frustrating for some, it cultivated a dedicated player base that sought mastery, leading to the rise of arcade legends who could complete games on a single credit. Beyond monetization, arcade difficulty also contributed to the communal gaming experience. Players gathered around cabinets to watch high-level play, learn strategies, and challenge each other's high scores. The difficulty was a core part of the social aspect of gaming, creating an environment where perseverance and skill were rewarded. Arcade gaming culture flourished as people competed for leaderboard dominance, and as new titles were released, developers continued to push the boundaries of challenge to keep players engaged. Despite its popularity, arcade difficulty also had its downsides. Many players were discouraged by the steep challenge, leading to a more niche audience of hardcore gamers. Additionally, some developers began to incorporate cheap deaths or unfair mechanics to extract more money from players, creating a frustrating rather than rewarding experience. As home gaming consoles began to rise in popularity, the gaming industry had to adapt to a different model of difficulty, one that focused on longevity and fairness rather than quarter-draining mechanics. With the rise of home consoles in the 1980s and 90s, video game difficulty underwent a significant transformation. Unlike arcade machines where difficulty was meant to keep players spending money, console games needed to provide an experience that justified a single purchase. This led to new approaches in balancing challenge and enjoyment, prioritizing engagement over financial gain. Many early console games retained arcade-like difficulty, often due to technical limitations. The term Nintendo Hard emerged due to the notorious challenge of games like Mega Man, Ninja Gaiden, and Castlevania, which demanded precision and patience. These games often featured complex level designs, limited save points, and high enemy difficulty, requiring players to master mechanics over time. However, these games also introduced elements such as passwords, save systems, and extra lives, allowing players to make gradual progress rather than restarting from scratch. As consoles advanced, developers began experimenting with different approaches to difficulty. The introduction of RPG elements, such as character progression and experience points, gave players more agency over their difficulty experience. Games like Final Fantasy and The Legend of Zelda allowed players to grind for experience or collect items that made challenges easier, creating a more player-driven difficulty curve. By the late 90s and early 2000s, developers began implementing difficulty settings, giving players more control over their experience. Games like Doom, Halo allow players to select difficulty modes or encounter optional challenges, accommodating a wider range of skill levels. This shift marked the beginning of a more player-friendly approach to difficulty, making gaming accessible to both casual and hardcore players alike. As developers continued to experiment with mechanics, difficulty became a more nuanced concept rather than a simple binary of easy or hard. Gaming today has seen a significant shift towards accessibility and difficulty customization. Developers recognize that not all players want the same level of challenge, and games often feature multiple difficulty options, dynamic scaling, and accessibility settings that let players tailor their experience. Games like Dark Souls and Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice have reignited interest in high difficulty, but they offer depth, fairness, and clear progression paths that encourage learning rather than frustration. These games rely on precise combat mechanics and pattern recognition, rewarding perseverance and skill rather than artificial difficulty spikes. At the same time, the Soulsborne genre has sparked debates about whether all games should offer an easy mode, highlighting the ongoing evolution of accessibility in gaming. Meanwhile, many modern titles such as Celeste or The Last of Us Part 2 integrate assist modes, adjustable mechanics, and accessibility features like aim assist and simplified controls to accommodate all types of players. These features allow players with disabilities or those who are new to gaming to experience the full narrative and gameplay without unnecessary barriers. Celeste in particular stands out for offering an assist mode that lets players tweak the game's difficulty in real time, reinforcing the idea that challenge should be an option rather than a requirement. Beyond in-game settings, developers now consider difficulty in terms of player experience rather than raw challenge. Adaptive difficulty, seen in games like Resident Evil 4 or God of War, adjusts enemies' behavior and resource availability based on player performance. AI-driven difficulty scaling ensures that players remain engaged without feeling either overwhelmed or understimulated. As the industry continues to evolve, future games will likely lean even further into personalized difficulty experiences, ensuring that all players can enjoy gaming at their own pace. The evolution of difficulty in video games is a testament to the industry's ability to adapt to changing audiences, technologies, and design philosophies. From the quarter-munching brutality of arcades to the customizable, player-driven experiences of today, difficulty has always played a crucial role in shaping how we interact with games. As gaming continues to grow, the conversation around difficulty will likely evolve even further. With AI difficulty adjustments, improved accessibility tools, and the continued rise of both hardcore and casual gaming communities, the future of game difficulty will be more flexible and inclusive than ever before. Whether players seek brutal challenges or a relaxed, story-driven experience, modern gaming ensures that there is something for everyone. So what are your thoughts on video game difficulty? Do you prefer the punishing challenge of older games, or do you appreciate the flexibility of modern difficulty options? Let me know down in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. I love you. Bye-bye.